What is up, honeys? This KingBritneyChanel, and I'm back with another video. Honey, so that faux Joy Patreon IG account, honey, is back at it again, and it done started, a little situation on YouTube, and that situation was between YouTuber Bree Hall and Lailah Lynn TV. I'm gonna explain the whole little situation, give my commentary on that, but before we do, definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope y'all enjoy my commentary on this. Okay, honeys, don't miss out on any of my videos. Definitely make sure you subscribe and then hit that notification bell and frequent the channel so that you receive more notifications from this channel. Now let's talk about this whole Bree Hall and Lailah Lynn TV situation and how the fake Joy Patreon page and IG channel comes into all of this. So I was on YouTube, y'all, and Bree Hall basically did a story time video where she talks about how Kay almost ruined her Christmas. So it was very interesting to me because we've been talking about Kay and everybody that surrounds Kay. And I'm like, well, wow, how did Kay almost ruin her Christmas? So I clicked the video, honey, and she, lo and behold, she is talking about a video that Lailah Lynn TV put up, honey. And it is like, oh my. Now, this is what I want to say because I want to, talk about, she mentioned, the drama channels and how, they want to pump out content. But one thing that I feel like people need to start ensuring is that they're verifying different receipts and content that they're putting out, as well as not getting into whole speculations and going on tangents and that sort of stuff. And I also was saying this about when this faux Joy's page, Instagram page and Patreon page was in existence. When it first came out, I'm talking about before we even seen a Patreon, I was like, throw the whole thing away. If the person ain't showed their face or showed a video to verify that it's them, then you cannot believe that it's that person. Honey, people was, subscribing to the Patreon. They believed that it was Joy. They was very adamant. They was like, the details were so real. All kind of, explanations to why they believed it, which they have that right to. They had that right to at the time. But it's definitely like, in 2019, don't get catfished by individuals who's just not showing their face, who's not providing you with adequate identity measures to prove that it's them, basically. And so how this came to be is that Lailah Lynn put up a video, y'all. It was 2 videos that she put up. The first video she put up about Joy is because, that Patreon was out and she believed that it was in fact Joy. Okay, she gave her opinion and her commentary on that. But the next video that involves Bree Hall, it was a video with a girl twirling around where they was trying to, claim that that was Joy and that, it was promotion of some hair being done. And it was funny because Bree Hall was like, her subscribers seen the video, sent her the DMs about it, y'all, and she was like, baby girl, oh no, I'm gonna have to go over there and tell this lady that is not Joy, that is, me doing a hair promotion for a friend. And this is crazy. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I done came into play in a whole, Kay and girlfriend faux page situation. Like, Bree Hall's face in the video when she's looking, and then it was so crazy because I think Lailah probably put out the second video because she didn't want to come out and say that she was, wrong for believing. Not necessarily that she was wrong, because everybody can get their opinion on stuff. But she assumed that Patreon was Joy with no kind of verification, like a lot of other media people did. And I think maybe she didn't want to really just come out and say that she didn't get verification to believe that that was Joy. And then she put out a video with this other video, I guess trying to back up that first video, and it caused like a blunder. And then also it was like she did ask, do y'all think it was Joy? Like that's what Bree Hall mentioned too. Like she did ask, you know, if the people thought it was her. But she also, after she said, you know, that about that little video where the person is twirling, which we now know is Bree Hall, is twirling, she was going off into this tangent about, oh, the girl was delusional with handlers. And Bree Hall was sitting there mentioning that, looking like, you know, where's all this information coming from? And it's like, as a person who's blogging, because it is like a form of journalism, blogging is like a form of journalism, and you have a big platform, you have the responsibility to put out things that are the truth and not just be speculating to a point where it's just like you got people believing stuff. Because a lot of people, I've seen people talk about, you know, Joy being slow, and it has been no evidence that has been provided of that. All of this, you know, the tangent about handlers, that it's like, and you know, the still that the rumors that Kay is still kind of controlling things from, you know, behind the wall, and all of that is speculation because the man is behind the wall. It's only so much you could do. You know, his funds is running low, so then that will mean that who is going to sit there and put themselves on the line, I would say legally, to get involved with that. And then also all of the eyes that is on this individual and people that surround him, I just personally don't, that's just like a huge speculation to say that somebody is delusional, or a huge stretch to think that. But that's what Lailah basically did in the video. It was a lot of speculation. It was a lot of speculation in the first place because people was speculating that that was that girl's Patreon from, you know, bugged out details that was in there, and just like stuff, rumors that people kind of already knew that kind of was compiled in that Patreon that people was reading, and they already believed some of these things about Kay. So it was just definitely easy for somebody to just come up and put up a Patreon and be like, okay, he was doing all of these things and this is, you know, her page. But I'm just trying to figure out though, y'all, like I just was really trying to figure out in 2019 how it was like adult people just believing that this was this girl's Patreon, IG, and all of this stuff with it was no video of her saying, yo, this is me, you know, support me, I'm gonna tell my story. And you had people like pointing a finger at a lot of other people with no, you know, I would say probable cause or no kind of real motive, no evidence that was really pointing in that direction. And it's like, people have to, you know, be a little bit more serious and not being careless with their platform. And I think that's why it was a lot of, you know, YouTube changes and stuff that's coming, you know, in January and everything. Well, after December 10th, really. Because people do that. Like, it's one thing to give your opinion, but when you go into like alternative theories, you got to kind of be, you know, careful, because you could get other people and other things wrapped up in a situation that you don't even know. And then too, when people be sending you receipts, a lot of the time you have to verify those receipts. It's a lot of times that people, I notice in like the entertainment sector, they want to be first at something. They just rush to put out information. And sometimes you have to let the story play out to give an adequate, or to do an adequate job. And so, you know, I've always looked at Lailah Lynn's channel as her doing, you know, an adequate job. She always seems to do a good job at putting out content. So it was a little shocking and surprising to me that, you know, she kind of believed in the Patreon. And it also was a little shocking to me that instead of, when the Patreon was reported false, she went into these alternative theories and kind of got a little jammed up because somebody clearly sent her a video of Bree Hall, or however she came across the video with Bree Hall and the hair promo thing. And literally was on video like, you know, is this Joy, you know, is this whatever. And the person on the video, like, cause initially it was a mystery person, but the Bree Hall subscribers knew it was her because they was under them comments, that comment section, like, baby, that is Bree Hall or whatever. The body type didn't look like the body type of Joy now. I mean, the face and different stuff, it just was a lot of differences. The only similarity is that, you know, Bree Hall had in, you know, long black tresses, and Joy typically sometimes wears those long black tresses or whatever. But it just was really like, wow. Like, when I was looking at Bree Hall's story time, it was like, wow. Like, she like, girl, how y'all came up with this whole scenario? And that is my whole video on, you know, this lady's video. And it was just, it reminded me of like the Tasha K, Christian Adam G situation where Tasha said she had received some information from a source, and come to find out, it was about like the Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner, and supposedly Travis Scott was cheating on Kylie Jenner. That was the rumor. Due to Christian Adam G putting up this, you know, this faux TMZ picture of himself and this girl, and he staged the photo for like a social experiment or whatever, and he kind of like in his video was like, how did this lady say that she had a source, and I done created this whole scenario. So this situation reminds me of that. Like, you cannot, you know, just go with the first thing that you think, or you might want to put out a juicy story, but you definitely have to get verification on things before you put that out, so that you're not looking like you're careless or looking crazy. Because I'm like, wow, like, I really kind of looked at this lady's channel like, oh, she puts out decent information, like she takes her time to do this stuff. And honey, when I was like, folks believe in the Patreon and they ain't get no verification, like photos or video, just whoever telling a story for financial gain. And the fact that Bree Hall and other people have been pulled into this about this Patreon, I really feel like they should find out who did this Patreon, because like I was saying before, it caused people some issues. Like, it caused so many issues from this whole situation. It caused issues between, you know, TK and TS and them. It caused issues for the girl Joy, because I'm sure that K's supporters, when whoever came out saying that was Joy and had her looking like she was ready to tell on K, that them K supporters was kind of hotter than fish grease and probably wanted to drag her because of that. Just if I just am looking at how or what happened when you know, as Ree left, you know, to do whatever she decided to do, how they just was so vicious and how they went after her, like that's similar to what was happening to me, to Joy in the whole situation. So I just kind of feel like whoever this was that impersonated Joy really just was so careless, and it just caused everybody in this situation that was talking about this situation. Some people ended up looking a certain way, blogger wise, to the public. Some people ended up, you know, believing in the hype of this whole situation. Some people was like, nah, from the go. And it, to me, I just personally feel like the person who is responsible for all of this foolishness should be brought to justice, so that people can find out and really kind of move past this. Cause it just, I'm like, wow, like this girl Bree Hall really had a video that was saying how Kay almost ruined her Christmas. She minded her business, and she done got roped into all of this because people wanted to know who that page belonged to. And in these mysterious videos that was, you know, that people was, I guess, kind of claiming that she was Joy. Thankfully, her subscribers was telling Lailah Lynn and other people that was not Joy, because who knows if people would have just still been believing that was Joy, and that Kay was, you know, had handlers taking, you know, making her say different stuff and all of that. And honestly, I don't really believe all of the narratives anymore that was first put out. I believe some about K, but I don't necessarily believe all of them about K. I believe like a person, there's only so much they could do from behind the lockup. Maybe they could be manipulative. Maybe they could, that's all a man could really do from behind the wall is be manipulative, unless they, some type of kingpin, and he's definitely not that. So obviously it's like people have to respect what Joy is saying, because I see a lot of people, they dismiss Joy's feelings when she talks about things and her emotions. They kind of just dismiss it because they want to keep believing a narrative. And it's like, when I thought about whoever created the full Patreon page, I feel like it was definitely somebody who wanted to hold on to that story for as long as possible, and somebody that probably needed Joy to tell her story to have a storyline. That's just my whole opinion on that. Because if you look around, everybody else daughter has returned to them. They're doing their own things or whatever. So if TV people decide to do series about, maybe life after K, they have their storylines ready to go. These people that, daughters have returned to them. But other people, who would stand to gain from a situation from Joy telling her story? And Joy has decided as an adult, because the girl is 24 years old? Is she 24, 25? She has decided that she wants to stand by her man, which is K. She wants to ride and stand by her man. Unfortunately, I feel like, she has her whole life, and I feel like personally, girl, don't wait on no man. But hey, it's her choice. At this point, it's like, okay, when Kay was out, I was able to be like, okay, maybe this person is doing the most, maybe manipulative, maybe, I kind of believe that. I still believe that Kay was doing things, but now since he's away, where he's physically away, I kind of feel like you have one girl that's Asri doing her own thing, and she's just, doing, you see her at the gym doing her own thing, doing, things that she wants to do. And a lot of people is like, oh, well, on Gail, she said she didn't want to do music, and now she's doing music. People have to kind of respect the fact that people can change their mind about anything in life at any time that they choose. And that reminded me of the Tiny and T.I. situation, where, T.I. had went to the lockup, and Tiny basically initially agreed to, because she's talked about this on the Red Table Talk, for him to be the breadwinner and her to not work. So when he went away, she changed. She wanted to change that dynamic. That wasn't comfortable for her anymore in her relationship. I think the same thing about maybe Asri. I think the same thing about her. I think that something may have been fine for her while, her man Kay was around. But when a person is in a situation, this person, because initially it seemed like both of the women, both of the young ladies, they believed that Kay was going to return, because in that video where they gave to TMZ, you've seen in the background there was welcome back balloons or welcome home balloons, and that did not happen. So their mindset, thereafter that could have changed on what they were willing to do. Like maybe, if you're in a relationship with a person, maybe you like, okay, while I'm in a relationship with this person, I don't want to do, this, that, or the third. But if a person is in a situation and you realistically know that they could not probably be coming home for a long time, okay, you probably, could think, okay, well, I want to pursue different things. I'm outside of this relationship. Well, she's still with the person, but I want to choose to do different things within this relationship. Consent is something that always changes. Okay, so you may one day consent to this and then the next day be like, not feeling that. I'm changing my mind. You definitely have every right to change your mind. And I think people kind of are so stuck on certain things that they're not realizing that these young ladies have every right to change their mind at any point in time. You feel me? But, maybe that's another video. But ultimately, certain narratives and different stuff, I can't make up stuff and, on these people and believe stuff that the evidence has not provided us. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's important if you're going to be making videos as a blogger to not speculate to the point where it's like you're just making up scenarios. That's definitely what I learned from this whole Lailah Lynn situation, as well as like other bloggers. I feel like you cannot speculate to the point where you just making up some stuff and you don't know. Like, oh, she could be delusional. Like, I think Lailah was in a video and she was like, oh, maybe she doesn't have a driver's license to be able to, come and go. It's a lot of narratives that I feel that was put out by Joy's, maybe fam. And now, like, at first, I kind of believed certain narratives, but now I don't believe all of the narratives due to the evidence that has been provided. Like, stuff that you could see, things that we can hear. You know what I mean? Like, it's always one person's side, the other person's side, and the truth. And we're kind of seeing that. Like, I feel like, okay, I do feel that Kay could be, an off person that was going through a lot or whatever, and he grew up to be a person that projected what he went through on other people. I do believe that. I also believe that it's fame chasing people that want to be celebrities due to association with Kay, who's the only celebrity in this situation. Like, people think they do a series about what happened to their, I would say, offspring or daughter, and then think they're public figures at this point. And it's just like, no ma'am. But it's just certain things that you could see, certain narratives that it's just like some could be true one day and not true the next day. You have to kind of know how to move with the times. You feel me? Like, that's something that I noticed that a lot of people kind of struggle with. It's like they get comfortable with something and they just don't add the new information to it, or they don't assess new possibilities, and they just keep going with stuff that has either been proven falsifiable or just not proven not true in certain areas. So it's like the scientific method that you kind of have to, when you come up with your hypothesis, when you come up with your hypothesis and an experiment is done or it's testable and the results prove that it was falsifiable, you got to scrap that. You now have to come up and look at the new facts and new evidence, new proof, and be like, what is really going on here? You kind of have to put your good glasses on and really assess the situation, and not just jump with whatever bandwagon is whatever train is going that way. You kind of just have to really watch what you say and watch what you put out, because you don't want to be in no blunders doing no videos. And that's, if people just start making videos, you just starting out, this is a tip for y'all, because you do not want to be that person that people is looking like, and trying to put their credibility on the line. That's what I want to say about that. What are y'all's thoughts about Bree Hall's story time about how Kay almost ruined her Christmas? What do y'all think? Definitely make sure y'all watch that video, because I feel like y'all would get a good little chuckle out of that. This is all me just, being cool, lighthearted about the situation, because it's like everybody makes mistakes sometimes. Everybody has those moments where it's like, I might have to retract that. So it's just, I just don't understand why people just don't just come out and want to retract stuff sometimes. Just retract. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with saying, okay, what we thought was true yesterday has proven to not be true. this, that, and the third. It just seems like what I notice about a lot of bloggers is that they just want to hold on with every tooth, nail, and hair that they got to something that has been proven falsifiable. Like, I don't get it. To the point, even to the point where you have certain situations. And I still think Lailah Lynn is a great blogger. Even despite this situation, I think that, you know, every situation is a learning lesson. So hopefully in the future, you kind of watch it. Because, you know, honestly, I feel like subscribers sometimes, or people be setting people up, honey, for failure, because they may send you information, or, you know, however people get their information. Sometimes you got to watch that too, because people will do that on purpose to have you looking crazy. I've seen that several times. But I still think Lailah Lynn is an awesome and great blogger. So hopefully, I mean, we all could, I learned from this situation, so we all can learn from different situations. I mean, I'm still going to watch Lailah's videos. I just think that, you know, maybe, you know, next time, you know, it'll be different situations, and people will, you know, verify and fact check situations. Because I think a lot of bloggers learned from this full Patreon situation with Joy. But it's KingBritneyChanel. You already know. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I hope y'all enjoyed my commentary on this, and I will see y'all soon on the next video. Come shop with me now at my Teespring store, KingBritneyChanel Couture. I provide custom apparel and so much more for an affordable price. We have items like leggings, t-shirts, and hoodies. So thank you for shopping, and I hope that you enjoy. Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.